Hi everyone, welcome to the first World History on One Page video, revision 2. I have been able to expand on the continents file since the first video, and now I have slightly more experience with videos than I did back in October 2018. We are now in September 2019. I am also planning to go to Rock Valley College to improve my skills in that respect. The project can be described as a text version of Google Earth with a historical aspect, because as well as zooming into geographical locations on the planet, we will be able to zoom into historical timelines in the planet's history. The overall project is a timeline from 4114 BC to 2050 AD. We have currently completed a world overview and the continents section. The continents section has been updated since revision 1. So if we go to the world overview, the countries of the world are arranged in alphabetical order, and each country has the flag at the head of the column and the region of the globe it can be located in. There are also places such as Eden that exist in scripture, and I have put in Adam and Eve's first descendants, up to Jacob and his death in approximately 1859 BC. There are two timelines. There is a Hebrew timeline and a Gregorian one. Since we as humans have disagreed on what the year is, I have included both. The Hebrew timeline is the number of years after creation. The Gregorian calendar is the most widely used civil calendar in the world. It is named after Pope Gregory the 13th, who introduced it in October 1582. So if we wanted to find 1582, we would type Control F and then 1582. We will first come to 1582 years after creation according to the Hebrews, then 1582 BC, then 1582 AD. I have denoted BC in blue and AD in red, as you can see, so you can always tell where you are in Earth's history. This becomes more accurate in the continent files, which I will show you. So we can see in 1582 AD, it was a time of Ottoman rule in Israel, the Ming dynasty in China, Elizabeth I's reign in England, Henry III's reign in France, Rudolph II's reign in Germany, the Mughal dynasty in India, the early modern era in the Roman Empire, and the introduction of the Gregorian calendar that we just mentioned. And what I've been doing with the arrow keys is Control right to skip over the blank spaces more quickly. This also works with Control left, Control up, and Control down. You can therefore see that the end of the timeline is in the year 2050, and the last country on the list is Zimbabwe, where I was born. There is an additional generations column since revision 1. This details Gen Z, the millennials, or Gen Y. Gen X, that's where I would fit into this model of the generational protocol. Going back further in time, the baby boomers, the silent generation, the greatest generation, and the lost generation. I mentioned the zoom concept that you may be familiar with in Google Earth. If you zoom in a little further on the planet in Google Earth, you would see the names of the countries come up. The original reason I created continents in the WOOP project is that the project is currently shared via Microsoft OneDrive, and the maximum editing size of an Excel file in Microsoft OneDrive is 5 meg. Thus, when this file size is approached or reached, I have broken up the magnification. Currently we have continents, countries, cities, and then people. The only person I have currently in people is George Washington, the father of the United States of America. His, in my opinion, is an awesome story, and I still feel I have only scratched the surface. There is also now an empires file, which is also a work in progress. This details an interesting argument that Rabbi Khan gave me a taste of. If you're looking for more details, you can find the Chaldean Mystery on YouTube, or better yet, his webpage, Hope of the World Ministries. So, exploring further in continents, we also have Africa, Asia, Australia, and islands, Central and South America, Europe, the Middle East, and North America. In the countries folder, I have also treated each US state as a country, and have also recently been detailing the countries of the Middle East, which I have found fascinating since we didn't have the time to cover such a vast timeline when I was at school. I understand the European timeline was less intimidating to my teachers, which I can now more fully appreciate. There is a saying which you may be aware of: the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know, which is correct in my opinion. So that's all for now. Next up, we will be covering the language section of the database. Should you or any of your friends like this idea, membership to the project is currently $20 US. Membership will allow you to see the monthly updates from other members, and you can download them on a monthly basis. I am also working on migrating the project to a smartphone interface, since most millennials and Gen Zs prefer the idea of phones rather than laptops and desktops. Once you become a member, you can also make $10 US on successful referrals to your friends and colleagues. Please be sure to update me with their name, country and city location, email address, or other social media details, and we will get you paid.